A surprising royal discussion is generating headlines today, and it involves two figures who rarely find themselves at the center of the same story. New comments and renewed public interest surrounding Queen Camilla's past have sparked intense debate among royal watchers. But what happened next caught many observers completely off guard. And according to multiple reports, questions surrounding the story have drawn fresh attention from one of the most respected members of the royal family, Princess Anne. Before we continue, subscribe to Royal Family Daily News and turn on notifications so you never miss the latest royal updates. Now let's take a closer look at what is really happening. For years, Queen Camilla's journey from private citizen to queen consort has been one of the most discussed royal stories of modern times. Her path has been examined in documentaries, biographies, interviews, and countless news reports. Yet despite all that coverage, certain aspects of her earlier life continue to attract public curiosity. Recently, renewed attention has focused on comments and observations connected to her former husband, Andrew Parker Bowles. The discussion quickly spread across royal media circles. Many viewers immediately wondered the same thing. Why is this story resurfacing now? And could there be more to the situation than initially meets the eye? But that's not the whole story, because what happened afterward raised even more questions. To understand why this development is attracting so much attention, it's important to look at the historical context. Andrew Parker Bowles and Camilla were married in 1973 and remained together for more than 2 decades before their divorce in 1995. Throughout that time, both figures moved within circles closely connected to the royal family. As a result, their history has often intersected with broader royal narratives. Over the years, many royal commentators have pointed out that public fascination with this period never completely disappeared. Every new interview, biography, or recollection tends to generate fresh discussion. And that appears to be exactly what is happening once again. Royal experts note that stories involving long-established royal relationships often resonate because they combine history, personal experiences, and public interest. Yet observers say the latest attention feels different. Why? Because this time the discussion has reportedly expanded beyond simple historical reflection. And that brings us to Princess Anne. Princess Anne has long been regarded as one of the most hard-working and respected members of the royal family. Known for her direct approach and dedication to duty, she rarely becomes the subject of dramatic headlines. That is precisely why her name appearing in connection with this discussion has attracted interest. According to royal commentators, Anne's reputation for practicality means that any story involving her tends to receive serious attention. What happened next surprised many royal observers. Instead of focusing solely on past events, the conversation shifted toward questions about royal history, public understanding, and how certain stories are remembered. Some analysts suggested that renewed interest in historical accounts could encourage a closer examination of long-standing narratives. Others cautioned against drawing conclusions before all available information is considered. And that distinction is important, because while headlines can be dramatic, verified facts remain essential. But another twist was still to come. As news outlets and royal-focused publications began discussing the story, expert reactions quickly followed. Several commentators emphasized that historical royal stories often experience cycles of renewed attention. They pointed out that anniversaries, interviews, books, and media projects frequently bring older events back into public conversation. Others noted that audiences remain deeply interested in understanding the personalities behind royal history. That interest helps explain why even decades-old stories can suddenly dominate headlines again. Yet not everyone agreed on the significance of the latest developments. Some experts argued that the renewed discussion reveals little that fundamentally changes public understanding. Others suggested that fresh perspectives can still provide valuable context. The debate itself became part of the story, and viewers were left wondering, could this renewed attention have a lasting impact? Or is it simply another chapter in the ongoing public fascination with royal history? Keep watching, because the answer may not be as straightforward as many expected. Whenever stories involving senior royals generate widespread attention, audiences naturally look for official responses. In situations like these, royal households typically focus on public duties and established communications rather than engaging with every headline. That approach has remained consistent over many years. Royal observers frequently point out that official silence should not automatically be interpreted as confirmation or denial of media narratives. Instead, institutions often prefer to allow public discussion to unfold independently. This has led some commentators to focus less on immediate reactions and more on the broader significance of the story itself. What does the renewed interest reveal about public perceptions? Why do certain royal stories continue to capture attention decades later? And what does it say about the enduring fascination surrounding the royal family? Those questions have become central to the conversation. But perhaps the most interesting aspect is still ahead. Beyond the headlines, this story highlights something larger. The royal family occupies a unique place in public life. Every major event, relationship, and historical milestone becomes part of a broader narrative that continues to evolve. As new generations discover royal history, older stories are often revisited through fresh perspectives. That process can lead to renewed debates, new interpretations, and deeper public interest. For some viewers, the current discussion is primarily about historical context. For others, it is about understanding how public narratives develop over time. Either way, the reaction has been significant. Social media conversations have expanded. Royal forums have been active. Commentators continue to analyze the implications. And many people are still asking the same question. Why has this particular story resonated so strongly right now? The answer may lie in the combination of history, personality, and public curiosity. But there is one final point worth considering. Looking ahead, royal experts believe attention will likely remain focused on the broader themes raised by the discussion. Future interviews, documentaries, biographies, and historical analyses could continue exploring this period of royal history. Whether any genuinely new information emerges remains to be seen. For now, much of the conversation centers on interpretation rather than confirmed revelations. That distinction matters. In an era of fast-moving headlines, separating verified information from speculation is more important than ever. And it is something responsible royal coverage should always prioritize. Still, the public response demonstrates that interest in royal history remains remarkably strong. Even stories connected to events from decades ago can spark fresh debate. And that alone makes this development noteworthy. As we've seen today, renewed discussion surrounding Queen Camilla's past, commentary connected to her former husband, and growing public interest in royal history have combined to create a story that continues to attract attention. Whether this conversation ultimately changes public perceptions remains uncertain, but it has undeniably reopened debate about one of the most discussed chapters in modern royal history. If you're enjoying this coverage, please like, subscribe, and let us know your thoughts in the comments. And now we'd like to hear from you. Do you think renewed interest in historical royal stories helps the public better understand the monarchy, or do you believe too much attention is placed on events from the past? Share your thoughts below. Thank you for watching Royal Family Daily News, and we'll see you in the next Royal Update.